guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I found a new undisclosed location for a very good reason. We have it. Once again, this is the all-new 2021 Sorento from Kia. This particular one is the top X-Line trim. But before we get into this adventure-seeking three-row SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. The Kia Sorento. It's been around since 2002. We are now 4 generations in, and since then, Kia has sold 1.5 million examples of the Sorento. Now for 2021, they're bringing some big changes, not only style, but also in trim levels. This particular X-Line trim is the top trim, and it is that adventure-seeking trim. You're gonna get more ground clearance, you're gonna get different styling, and a very special color option called Aruba Green, which our example here is of that beautiful color. What I want to try to wrap our minds around is that looking at mid-size three-row SUVs, there's plenty to choose from. Should you go with the Sorento, or maybe go with one of the other competitors like the Subaru Ascent or the almighty class-dominant Toyota Highlander? So let's go ahead, let's see what Kia has brought to the table and find out, does the Sorento do the business against the competition? Right off the bat, like I said, that Aruba Green has such a nice shade to it that it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, but it has plenty of metal flake to draw you in. When we start at the front of the business, think Telluride. Think about the styling from the Telluride, from the Kia K5, and all the other new examples trickling down into the showrooms. That's the direction they went with the Sorento. Standard LED lighting across all trims. I love the style of that multi-beam setup and the metallic silver finish. You run your way down, you're gonna have these nice daytime running lamps, LED. Look at how it drops actually into the grille section, unique to separate it from the rest of the pack. And then my biggest smile on my face that I could have looking at the front end is that there's no fake vents, just actual front fascia. There's a nice concave flow to it. Love the color, some flat black. And then as we come across that brand identifier, it's called the Tiger Nose Grille. This shape that you see is called the Tiger Nose Grille. Look at a Stinger, look at a Telluride, look at the Sorento. They have that same style. You have the Kia badge, you have a forward-facing camera, a little bit of gloss black, but I'm happy to report a lot of flat black, and I'm loving the design. All the little intricate elements of the grille just stands out. Even the way that they take the top portion and kind of fold it in onto the grille gives it such a very, like I said, muscular look. They definitely hit the nail on the head with that. You have a functional center opening here, flat black to bring air in. We got turbocharged power, and we have a DCT transmission. And then to wrap it off, a little bit of metallic silver, both up in the middle and down below with this lower lip extension. You're gonna have LED fog lamps on the corners of this lower portion of the bottom grille, and it's gloss black to kind of just give it a little bit of extra design depth, comparing the gloss black to the bottom to what you see up top with that Tiger Nose Grille. Now when we go all the way up top, you're gonna get a bulge on your Sorento, so you could be happy with that bulge. Nice rise, and then it kind of curves off and goes towards the A-pillars. Everything else just screams, like I said, that nice, new, fresh, muscular appearance. As we come around the bend, for the first time ever on a Sorento, 20-inch wheels. You'll actually have 6 different wheel options to choose from. When you go X-Line, you're getting this nice split spoke design, this gunmetal gray, flat gunmetal gray, even the way they put this tasteful center cap that covers up the lug nuts. Everything looks finished, everything looks complete, and like I was saying, the colors match perfect. Now you do have some flat black that does come around the fender treatment, that goes with that off-road feel. I like the way they took the DOT required reflector and kind of blended it in nicely to just give it a clean look. And like I mentioned at the start of this video, when you go X-Line, you're actually getting more ground clearance. Not only top of the tire inside the fender, but also from the ground and the bottom of that front fascia, 8.3 inches, which is great. Going into the fender, love the clean side coming down. That hard body line just really wraps around into a nice U shape. We have some gunmetal gray trim, tasteful, doesn't look like a vent, it's not supposed to, with the X-Line badge, all new for 2021. Gloss black on the mirror caps, and then you're gonna have, what I love, is the gunmetal gray finish. top and bottom, little bit of gloss, color matched on the door handles, and just flat black along the bottom. Think about it. It's smart to have the flat black. You're hitting some brush, you're hitting some branches and whatnot as you're going off-road. That's gonna take a better beating. You go X-Line, you have these raised roof rails, you get your crossbars, you can get your kayaks up there, your mountain bikes. Look at the competition. Look at the Highlander, look at the Ascent. Heck, even look at the Passport or the Pilot. These are touches you're not gonna find on those particular vehicles that they bring on this adventure trim. Coming into the rear, one of my favorite parts about the side of the vehicle is look at how they took the trim and they brought it up. Look at that quarter window. It's not just a triangle like every other SUV. It's got a nice flow to it. Love the high belt line. And then as it comes into the rear, it just kind of disappears and wraps around. Really gives it a clean look. You are gonna get a little bit more off-road focus tire. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size? 255, all four corners, 45 series sidewall. There's that center cap cover I was telling you about. Really just cleans up the whole look. And then when you get to the tail end of the business, I'm loving it overall. The one thing I don't love is the extra lighting element. I wish they would have got rid of that. Kind of reminds me, like I mentioned before, of the family truckster, but definitely unique styling. No rear wiper on the glass, which is great. They have it tucked up underneath. Tasteful, very tasteful on the low roof spoiler. Even the way they did the back portions of the roof rails, very unique, and that just allows a little bit more style. The Sorento badge, all-wheel drive, like I mentioned. We have the SXT X-Line. That T stands for turbo, also stands for terrific, which this Sorento is pretty terrific. And then we drop down and you're gonna get that same sort of gunmetal metallic finish. One thing I'm really confused on is why is the exhaust pipe this low back in the corner here? This should be tucked up so that it's super clear, or show me some actual exhaust pipe that looks decorative. This kind of just looks like a random pipe sticking out of the back of the vehicle. So I am gonna have to zonk that. But other than that, very sharp. Let's go ahead, pop the hood, and see the turbocharged power of our Sorento. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod, but the great news is they're smart and they just move it all the way over the passenger side. Underneath that hood is an all-new engine for 2021. That's a 2.5 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 281 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque. You could get this in front-wheel drive if you want. Ours, being an X-Line, comes with all-wheel drive. It could tow up to 3,500 pounds. And the great news is, like I mentioned earlier, you have an 8-speed DCT transmission. MPGs, 21 in the city, 28 on the highway. I think it was so smart of Kia to bring such a variety of different power plants. They got a plug-in electric hybrid version coming. They also have naturally aspirated versions as well on top of this turbocharged one. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to that interior and see what big things are in store for the 2021 Sorento. All right, guys, we're inside this 2021 Sorento X-Line. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm really digging this. And what I'm saying to you is I'm digging it as well. I love the way it's got a unique front fascia to the X-Line, rear bumper, unique to this trim. And then on top of that, you got that extra ground clearance and those 20-inch wheels. I know the big question you have is, Joe, how much is it? MSRP for the way that this one is optioned is $42,000. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. I love the materials. Nice soft touch up top. That light wood is so tasteful and definitely outdoor adventure on the inside. Look at that supersized Kia belt buckle of a door handle. And then they really knocked it out of the park with that two-tone material. You have the tan with the dark and the white contrast stitching. Very classy. We have the optional Bose sound system. Door pocket is a little on the tight side, but you can slide in 2 personal pan pizzas from Pizza Hut and a bottle of water to wash it all down. We go to the dash. Look at what they did with the AC vents. Very unique. Something I've never seen on any other SUVs. You have more of that wood trim, soft touch material, and then you have that infotainment that's all new as well. This is an all new Sorento. You have your choices. Standard is an 8-inch. This is the optional 10.25-inch infotainment system. The zonk is no wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. It's got connected Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Navigation, it's a touchscreen, of course. Easy to use, easy to navigate through. You see what I did there? And then on top of that, you have, of course, all the other features. So you could go into your media. You got all the different sounds of nature. So if you are, say, in the middle of the city and you want to hear that forest sound in your X-Line because you're missing camping, you could do that on your drive to work or on your way home from work after a hard day. We go right back to navigation. You can see all the different icons that you have, easy to get to. Go back to map, and there we are. I need to lower that because the birds are starting to give me a little bit of a headache. Let me show you a backup camera. Check it out. Nice, clear. You got trajectory. You got your 360 cam. I could touch the screen and do all the different angles. Nice, simple to understand. That's all you need. But like I said, the zonk is no wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I'm actually putting it in drive now. We got our forward-facing camera and still that 360 with the trajectory. Very nicely done. Dual climate control. Love the switch gear. A little bit of gloss black up top, nothing too crazy. You got your start-stop button. Heated seats, ventilated seats. Thank you, Kia. A bunch of gloss black in the lower section. But most of the time, I think that this lid will be open. Large area. You got your wireless charging. 3 USBs. Not 1, not 2, but 3 USBs. Close it on up. And then you're going to have that shifter for that DCT transmission. Nice touch. The finishes, the shift boot, a little bit of silver. You have your mode selector switch. Easy to change the modes: comfort, sport, smart, snow, and eco. You could lock your center diff. And then you have your heated steering wheel. Hill descent control. We got 2 cup holders. A Mentos holder, which is very rare. You don't see many vehicles with a Mentos holder. Taste the Fresh Maker. You have your very tasteful Kia key fob with remote start. There's the buttons down the side. I wish it looked more like the Stinger. The Stinger one looks like a bomb detonator, but this one will do as well. You could probably blow up a bomb very easily with this, but I don't advise that. Don't do that at home. Nice little holder here for some small Slim Jims. Snap into a Slim Jim. Soft touch material. Open this up. Look at this. You got a to-go party tray. Super size. Put some pork fried rice in there. That would taste good right about now. I've been craving pork fried rice. And then on top of that, let's say you're at the campground and you find the perfect pine cone. You could put 2 large pine cones in here, take them home, decorate them, and have it remind you of your trip in your X-Line. And then to top it all off, let me fix this because that's just my OCD. There we go. Look at the seating, the piping, the diamond stitching work going on, electric assist for the passenger and the driver. The material is great, and like I said, they're heated and ventilated, but there's more. Panoramic sunroof. It goes all the way back. Look at that. Very nicely done. One touch, and you're good to go. That's what I'm talking about. 6 feet tall, plenty of room up here. Why don't you come over to the business end, though? I want to show you the 12 inches of display that I have on the business side. All right, guys, here we are, business time. You do have a very tasteful Sorento plaque here on the sill. Nice aluminum finish. I do like that touch. You're also going to get aluminum pedals, brake pedal and throttle. I wish that they would have done that on the dead pedal as well, but I am happy to report there's a supersized dead pedal as you're doing your off-roading. Seat controls, easy to get to, and I'm telling you, these seats are so wonderful. The only major zonk for the seat is that there's no memory settings. So if you let somebody borrow your Kia Sorento, tell them not to adjust the seat or you're gonna have to switch it back. Steering wheel, perfect thickness. I love the leather stitching all the way around. Just a little bit of gloss black, nothing too crazy. Tasteful on the horn button. You do have paddles on the back of the steering wheel to go up and down that DCT transmission. And then the instrumentation. This is what you've been waiting for. This has that full 12.3-inch digital display. It's got the lane assist. Watch when I turn on the turn signal, how it actually shows up. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Let's go to the right. Awesome technology. Come back to center. Super clear. And then watch this. Go into the different modes. Let's go to sport. Wait, hold on. Jumping the gun there. Boom. Look at how it changes. So from comfort to sport. Let me get rid of that warning there to really show it. Look at that. Boom. Sport. Eco. I got to keep hitting this button because it's telling me it's going to shut off. Maybe that's the zonk. I'll add that to the zonk list. There it goes again. That's another. Every time it does that, I'm going to zonk it. And then smart. Look at that. Great. But as we are covering that, I love the clarity. Love that technology. And I know many of you have been looking forward to that. But let's get to the mid-row and see what the Sorento brings to the table. All right, guys. Mid-row time. And I'm telling you, once again, Kia just has knocked it out of the park with the seating, with the amount of room. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. Got plenty of room back here. Backs of the seats, it's a little bit of a combo deal. So you have the plastic, easy to clean if you're a parent. If you're not a parent, you just, I don't know, it doesn't look as tasteful as if this wonderful material, that tan kind of covered the whole back of the seat. But look what they did. And I think they did this specifically for Radies Rides. Not only did they give us the cargo net, which I'm not a big fan of, but they did give us a regular pocket on the back. So we're not gonna zonk it. We'll let it slide since they got you covered either way. Another feature that I love is where they put the USBs on the backs of the seats. So super smart so that you don't have the cord down below. What we do have down below are the AC vents, and even lower than that, we have a 12 volt and a USB. Very, very nice touches. Seats are great. I'm just not loving the captain's chair armrests, especially the ratcheting kind, and they're very skinny. So hopefully your arms are as thin as a twig, because that would be perfect for you. Here's another little smart, little ingenious thing. Look at that. Look at that. What would you put there? I don't know. Let's see. Does it fit? Wow. Kia's got you covered. And then if you like to have a little bit of action in the back, in the mid-row or the back seat for that matter, you can get your action. Sliding. Are you ready? Wow. And look at that reclining. A lot of great reclining space there and sliding. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to that back row and see even if you're gonna wanna sit back there, let alone have somebody else sit back there. All right, guys, third row time. And you know, comparing this to the opposition, the competition, the other SUVs, I feel about the same back here. My knees are way too high to actually feel comfortable. Headroom, I'm fine with that. And the widths of the seat are fine. I love the material. It's just that this is unacceptable for me to sit back here. You're gonna have to probably be about 4 feet tall. The great news is that you got plenty of USBs. There's a total of 8 USBs back here. And I got plenty of places for my snacks and my drinks, which is wonderful. I do have this seat moved all the way forward. There is a little bit of room, but I'm gonna ask whoever sits here, please do not break my legs by sliding back. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the cargo area, because I don't know about you, I want to drive this thing. All right, guys, time to get into the cargo area. You go with the E. E stands for enter. You push the button, and it's going to have a nice electric assist up. As we kind of come in, you're stuck with a small amount of room with the seats up. So with the seats up, you're looking at 13 cubic feet of space. Now, when you're comparing this to the competition, whether it be the Highlander or the Ascent or any of the others, it really is going to be tight with that third row up. The great news is on the Sorento, very easy to put the seats down. You're just gonna pull and let go. Look at that. Pull, let go. Now you have a nice folding area. If you put down the middle row, you're looking at almost 80 cubic feet of space. You can see that for the third row passengers, you're actually gonna get USBs on both sides, this wonderful Doritos tray, and a cup holder back here for drinks. And you have your buttons that you can push to get that mid-row down, and a 12 volt. Nicely set up. And then watch this. What do we have underneath door number 3, Johnny? Look at all this space. So think about it. You could fill that up with donuts, with munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts. Have that on the trip. Easy to get to. You got your subwoofer in the back. And when you're ready to rock and roll and go for that adventure, you just hit the button and it drops down. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Sorento X-Line for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the 2021 Kia Sorento X-Line. Right away, you just feel the differences between the previous generation Sorento and this current generation. And when you're really comparing it to the competitors, that's where it starts to draw the line with the differences from the 10.25-inch screen, that beautiful, crisp digital display. I'm gonna go ahead and put in sport mode, and you see how the gauges change. So clear, so nicely done. Let me come to a stop real quick, since nobody's really behind us. I'm gonna do a little on-throttle acceleration. On throttle, here we go. So you are having to wait for the boost to build, but once it goes, she really shifts very, very nicely through that DCT transmission. Back on throttle, here we go. Remember, we have that all-wheel drive helping us with traction. It's a nice sunny day, but you know what? If it's snowy or rainy, sand or mud, this X-Line Sorento is definitely gonna allow you to get through those conditions. You do have a style of hill descent control to help get through some of those rougher situations. And overall, this really is like the Swiss Army knife of three-row midsize SUVs. It really can do a lot of different features very, very well. I don't know if you noticed, I just turned on my turn signal. That gives you that ability to have that camera action so that you are able to look past the blind spots in the Sorento. Visibility is great out back. Side mirrors work wonderful. You have 16 different Kia DriveWise features, safety features that are new to keep you safe. Handling is really nice. Super smooth, and the cabin is quiet, which I like. You know, you're not getting a bunch of wind noise, even with the roof rails. And I think they probably did something with the glass. I think I heard that there's some acoustic style glass to help keep the inside a nice, serene experience. But let me go ahead and slow down once again. I'm gonna use the paddles. I'm gonna take the shifter, put it over to the left. I'm now using the paddles. I'm in second gear. Let me drop down to first. On throttle, here we go. So definitely with the paddles, I'm getting a quicker acceleration, and I kind of didn't wait to come to a total complete stop. That helped as well, but I don't think you're gonna be wanting for more power in this Sorento for sure. It's definitely has a nice balance. You could feel the work. Remember, this is sitting on an all-new chassis, so it's more rigid and it's stronger, and it allows more room to the interior, whether you're up front, mid-row, or the back third row. You have a gear indicator while you're in manual mode, and then when you're done having some fun through the twisties or whatnot, you could go ahead and put it right back into drive, tow up to 3,500 pounds. Like I said, the changes are really that great, especially when you look at the previous generation, or you look at, say, the Toyota Highlander, the Subaru Ascent, those main competitors there. And I think my favorite part, obviously, is gonna be that nice, quick acceleration, especially when you're in, say, second or third gear. There's plenty of pep to get you going, which is really nice. I think the main things that we're missing are those memory seat settings. It would also be nice to have an auto-dimming mirror. But I think where they brought it in the other places, like the digital dash, you almost forget about those things. Getting to everything is very easy. I could go through the infotainment system. We could turn on the music. Let me shut that off real quick. Turn on the music very easily. Get back to navigation. Get back to the map. I got the ventilated seats on. Everything is well laid out, and everywhere you touch is very high-end material, which I really like as well. But hopefully this gave you a great overall view of what the Sorento X-Line is all about, why it's definitely one you want to add to your list when you're shopping for a mid-size three-row SUV. But we're gonna go ahead, get back to our new undisclosed location and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day with this Kia Sorento X-Line. I first off got to thank JB, James, and the rest of the crew over at Kia Motors USA for allowing Rady's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. It really shows that Kia is not messing around when it comes to exterior style, that interior feel, fit, and finish. Of course, performance, but you know what? They got to worry. No, not Kia. I'm talking about vehicles like the Highlander, the Ascent, and the rest of the competition because of what Kia is bringing to the table. But if you want to keep seeing three-row mid-size SUVs on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content for you on Rady's Rides, click the first link. You can get yourself some Rady's Rides merch, or you can click the second link. visit the Patreon page for Radies Rides and become a club member. I gotta give a huge shout out to my wonderful wife, Lori, working that camera like a champ. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.